Hello and welcome back to 10 Minutes of Astrology. My name is Shay, your favorite Nostradamus wannabe who is going to keep it real with you. I am one of a kind all the time and would appreciate if you would comment anything at all for the algorithms. Press all the buttons so that way you can spread this information. It's free to do all of that. So, hook me up. Thank you. We're going to talk about Venus in Virgo today in 2027. It goes in approximately August 21st. And the first aspect that I'm going to talk about is a trine to Chiron, which is retrograde in Taurus at approximately 4 degrees. And I really like this. So we're going to talk about what Venus is. We're going to talk about what Virgo is. We're going to talk a little bit about Chiron and Taurus. I do have a video. If you check my housekeeping notes in the comments, you can click the link, which will take you to my astrology predictions playlist, where you can then find my Chiron and Taurus video for more information about it. And a lot of the other planets that I do talk about here, I already have videos on, so you can look through that playlist. It's out until 2046. I made it all nice and in order, or at least the best that I could, considering the retrogrades and other things that happen with the other planets. I am way off track, and I will do forever because this is ADHD astrology with Shay. So we're just gonna have fun here. That's the whole point of life, I think. Anywho, Venus is love and relationships, not just any relationships, but all relationships. Virgo is the virgin of the zodiac. They are the polite critique. They will make you feel like crap in the nicest way possible. They are not my favorite sign. I am going to move on into this trine to Chiron in Taurus, which is retrograde. I believe that it is staying in Taurus at this time. I don't think it goes back in Aries. I think because for a while we had planets that were teeter-tottering in signs. So I don't think this is the case at this moment, but it is at 4 degrees. So Chiron, a short thing, is the wounded healer of the zodiac. You try to help heal in others that which you struggle with. This is insecurities and stuff. In Taurus, this is your home, your values, your material possessions. And I like this here because even though you're relating in a very critical way and hypercritical and very detail oriented, it's like you're getting the fine details of your values and of your home life and of the things that matter to you that are helping heal you. You're getting those in order now. It's like you finally have figured out all of these things clicked into place, and you finally figured out okay, this is what I have to do in this order every day. You have the routine and now you're perfecting it. Virgo is a sign of perfection. Not that they are perfect, they certainly are not. They just try really hard to be. So this is perfecting that, getting into the details of your home, of your values, of the things that are important to you. This is really very healing. And then we have a yod. So I've been telling Virgos for a very long time now, God be pointing at you. God looking at you. So a yod in astrology, that aspect is considered God's fingers when two in conjuncts, or the actual term is quincunx, but I don't like the way that sounds rolling off the tongue, so I always say in conjunct. There's two of those. So an inconjunct is not the sign that's directly across, it's the one beside the one it's directly across from. So when you have, in this case, with Venus in Virgo, the opposite of that is Pisces. So beside that is Aquarius, and then you have Aries. So we have Pluto in Aquarius, and this yod is going to be with uh, Neptune in Aries. And Lilith is also in Aquarius here, and Jupiter is also in Virgo here. And this is between 5 and 6 degrees. Lilith is at 8 degrees, so that makes it a little bit larger. When any aspect is wider, it means that you're still going to feel it. It's just not going to be intense. The more exact the degree is, the more intense it's going to feel, but also so sometimes you don't see it for as long, and then other times you will see it for like a whole year. Like it's going to really impact you. So I can't say that it being exact doesn't last as long, because it absolutely can. That energy can spiral out into the universe very powerfully. But the wider that it is, the less intense it is. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not going to last as long or it's not going to have some sort of impact. But the more direct a degree is, the more impactful it's going to be. And potentially the longer you're going to feel it. It just depends on the planets. These are some pretty major planets, outer planets here that we have. So, it's going to be intense and it is going to last a while. And Venus here. So I've been telling Virgos, a yod is God's finger. So God's finger can come in two forms, and it's usually negative because we have inconjuncts, and it's pointing at the planet that is basically taking all of this energy. In this case, it's going to be Venus and Jupiter in Virgo. Well, Jupiter is large expansion. Venus is your relationships. Virgo is this nice perfection critique that we have. Pluto is changes. Aquarius for our friend groups and our society around us. Neptune is of the spirit, and Aries, it's our spirit, it's us, it's, very basic spirituality. Lilith, even here, Lilith is the taboo sexual nature in Aquarius. It's with your friend groups and like things that, it's the awkward, weird version of that taboo. So it's like people that are really into sniffing socks type of vibe. So like we're gonna throw in a weird, but it's also at 8 degrees, so that's not as like main as the rest of this. So what does all of this mean? Well, God's finger is either going to point at you because you've been bad and you've been naughty, and God is gonna spank you, or you are about to be so incredibly blessed it's going to blow your mind. That doesn't usually happen in yod. It's possible if you've been like the perfect little angel, which I know you're not. But otherwise, this is God spanking on Virgo. So let's get kind of deeper into that now. I'm already at 8.5 minutes and I am not halfway through this. So this might be a very long 10 minutes of astrology. We'll see. So Jupiter and Venus in Virgo, this big relational place that you're trying to you're basically trying to perfect the relationships you now have in a really big major way. This is a big major life change. You're completely switching up from who you were, what you were doing, and how you relate to yourself, to other people. This is really awesome. And how you relate to other people in this really big, different way is being pointed at. Because remember, Venus in Virgo is the relational critique. So you coming down on your family and the people that you claim to love and telling them all about themselves and what they're doing wrong is about to swing back. Karma's coming quick this season. So Pluto in Aquarius is basically the collective going, excuse me? Do you think all the paperwork and all of the red tape and all of this exhausting nonsense is helping? the greater collective here. Just because you make a big deal about the process doesn't mean the process is really that big of a deal. Because remember, Pluto in Aquarius is rapid fire change, sometimes just for the sake of change, just because they can, just because it needs to be different. So Virgo, all of this Virgo stuff, Venus and Jupiter, remember, Aquarius and everybody else that's in fire and air stuff right now can just light it on fire. So really ask yourself if it matters, because it can just be gone. We don't even have to do any of this. We have to sign paperwork for house insurance, and you know what? I don't even want to live here no more. Light it on fire. Like, and of course that bothers Virgos, because like they're going to have an internal panic attack where their nervous system, because Virgos represent the nervous system and indigestion, anything to do with stomach or intestinal issues and stuff like that. So everything in them is falling apart. We also have Lilith at 8 degrees, which is this taboo sexual stuff. So if you are in a romantic relationship, especially, you may be trying to change things up and trying to be more interested in like sexuality and sexual stuff. And your partner may be like, I'm not that into it. Or maybe they're too crazy freaky and you're not that into it. And like you're trying to step out of the box and it's just not working as far as that aspect of your life. Or it could be that because we've got Pluto, which is the darkness, and Lilith, it could be more of like the Epstein stuff we were seeing, and all of, it coming out more now about all of the abuse women have been dealing with. So this could go kind of several different ways. I haven't done a series on Lilith. If you're interested in me doing that, please put like a Lilith please in the comments or something so that I know you're interested in a Lilith mini series for the next 20 years. Neptune in this yard is your spirituality. Now this is retrograde at 6 degrees. So your spirituality, this is, not only are we on a yod, which is God's finger, but we got Neptune here, which is the feeling and the presence of sitting with God. And your God right now is in Aries, which is not happy, which is pop off very quickly, which is impatient, which does not have time. Like, do you think Jesus was going to sit around and do paperwork? Like, do you think that that's really necessary when people are homeless and people are hungry and people have to eat? No, we're not filling out another form. No, get them food, get them shelter, get them help, get them a job, get them education, get them what they need. This is God coming down going, okay, you need all of this perfect, in order, but nothing in life, nothing in spirit, nothing in existence is perfect in order. You're not going to get it. Why are you still trying? Light it on fire. It's like every time I come back to something, it's like, okay, we can just light it on fire. Because that's not helpful either. Like, it's like we are in two different worlds, because one world is like, we do this piece of paper, and then after you fill that out, we have to talk to 3 different people and then come back and then see if you need to fill out more. And Neptune and Aries is like God coming in going, okay, like if there's a hurricane or something, and God basically, like you're filling out paperwork for your insurance, your house is totally flooded underwater, and you're having me fill out paperwork. My house is underwater. Just get me another house. Like, why do we have to fight and like house me? Like, if Jesus lost his, which he didn't have a home, but let's say Jesus had a home and it flooded, Do you think he's going to stand around and do paperwork? No, he's going to help other this is help your neighbor, help your people, help your like what are you doing? This paperwork is not helping. The red tape and the hoops that we have to jump through to do this all perfectly and in order and dot and just now because Aries is impatient. God is impatient right now and is going to quickly forget lighting things on fire just because, you know what? No. So we have like a childlike God right now that is throwing temper tantrums because you need paperwork. You need things in order. And you know what? God is going to come through like a little child and just tear the house up and tear your paperwork up. The dog ate just whatever is going to happen. Remember, it's going to twist back around and come back because if you don't need to be doing it, it is not going to get done. So Virgos, just remember whatever plans, whatever perfection, whatever thing you thought you had going on, no, it's going to just get like, no, nope, next. We then have Venus square Uranus, because this is a bright and shiny, lovely reading that I'm doing. We then have a square to Uranus, which is big random chaos in these perfect relationships that you thought that it was doing great and that it was perfect and that the things that you were relating to, but as soon as a curveball comes in, which is a pretty big curveball, like I don't want to underestimate, this is a really big stressful curveball of chaos because you couldn't do the perfect paperwork. And now it's coming back on you because you couldn't do it, but you tried to do it, but all the chaos, and it just is chaos on top of chaos, and especially at Virgos specifically. Yeah, this is not fun. We then have Mars go into Scorpio, Venus then in conjuncts Saturn and Aries at approximately 26 degrees. This is around September 11th, 2027. And this is the right thing to do for yourself. And it is just not aligning with your Little Miss Perfect relationships. You have to have everything just so. And you're probably seeing that your stomach is tore up. You don't feel good. Like it doesn't feel good deep down. Even though you're trying to be right and you feel like you're right. But even though you're trying to do these right things, somehow they're not right. And so you're trying to perfect it, but you just shouldn't bother perfecting it because somebody's just going to come in and tear it up. But you can't think that way. You can't think, oh, somebody's just going to come in and mess it up. You have to, and it's like, this is exhausting. I am so tired of being like, the future is exhausting. Then Venus goes into Libra approximately September 14th, 2027. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, fam. Press the buttons. Much love.